So this is my Jaguar. This is tuned to open C for the beginning tunes, and I wound up putting it in open C minor for that last little bit, and you can do that fairly easily. And that is also going to be the topic of another tune that I do, where I'm in a certain tuning, and a lot of people think, okay, I'm in that tuning, so I have to play something in that key. But that's not necessarily the case, and that's a topic for another video. So I pretty much just did a big run through of sounds and why I like the Jaguar. The Brits call it Jaguar, or whatever it is. I've been watching too much of Pete and the Captain, apparently. So there's a lot of switches and things, and it kind of ties in with my other video where I show all the sounds of a jazz master, and I'm going to do that with this, but there's one extra button on this one that's kind of hip, and it's called the strangle switch, and I'll demonstrate that. So I'm going to go into standard tuning now quickly. So my open C tuning is C, G, C, G, C, E. So you basically just raise the B string, and then you drop the other three strings. The cool thing with the Jag is with 12s with a wound third, it'll pop into tune fairly easily, and you can still use the bar like you normally would. Most people would edit this out, but to be honest with you, I like doing videos with no editing because I just want you to see the real stuff. Some channels I really like are the Tom Bukovac channel. Tom is amazing, and he's just giving it to you straight as it happens. He's not doing too much tuning though, so my apologies. Now I'm in standard tuning. So the thing with the Jag is it has a rhythm circuit just like a jazz master, and it has two pickups just like a jazz master. And the way to select the pickups is not on a three-way. It's either on or off, and that's going to come into play with a couple other offset videos I'm going to do. So with everything down here, pay no attention to the very first one, but it's down as well. With the middle one down, that means the middle one is tied to the treble, and the far switch near the horn is tied to this. So they're on-off switches. So now I'm on the neck. This one's up, I'm on the neck, and that sounds great. When I put it down, it's off. Well, it's supposed to be because I was on the rhythm circuit. Now let's try that again. Neck, off. Treble is the middle one, off. Now, the strangle circuit only works when one of these pickups is selected. So I'm going to give you some sounds real quick. Neck pickup. Okay. Now, treble pickup. So these are Duncan designed vintage modified pickups in a 2015 vintage modified Squire Jaguar. This guitar is amazing. As soon as I picked it up and played it, I was like, that'll do. That's just fine. Okay, so this treble pickup is awesome. The neck pickup's awesome. They sound great together. Sounds great. They have more output typically, and they're not quite as crisp as a Stratocaster pickup. They're kind of Telly-esque as far as both pickups on. Now, the cool thing is this strangle switch, and it works with either one or with both of them turned on as well. So here is the treble pickup only. Now, strangle switch. Take it off. More output. It's subtle, but there's a place where you can really hear it more. Now I'm going to do neck pickup. Here it comes. There's less output. So it's basically takes out the low end. You hear it more on the neck pickup. Now, where a Jag really shines, it does a sound that no other offset does, in my opinion. It's when you put both pickups on and the strangle switch. So here's both pickups without it. It gets really thin in a cool way. So I'm going to roll my drive back a little bit. And when you give it a little more gain, it's still really nice and thin. Now I'll take it back off. It's got a little more bottom end there. So you can also thin out the neck pickup only. So now I'm on neck pickup. Now, I use the strangle switch quite a bit. If I'm doing passages like that where I really need note separation, I will turn on that strangle switch. I kind of treat the Jag. It is very good at note separation, and you don't have a lot of note bleed where they kind of muddy into each other like a Les Paul. Les Paul has less note clarity because of the mid-range character of a Les Paul and hot pickups. This is kind of wiry. So you can kind of treat this like an acoustic guitar, and with this strangle switch, you really get some note separation. So this is a really good guitar to practice playing clean passages on. So if you need something that cuts through the mix and you want to have maximum versatility as far as like clean tones, this one, even more than the Jazzmaster, really kind of slices through. And it's a shorter, there's physical differences. It's a shorter 24-inch scale. So that's why I went up with thicker strings. So I have a coated strings. I do the MYXLs. Or I guess they're the X coated strings now, or the XTs. They've been changing things on me lately. So these are the Diodarios. They're coated, and they have the wound third. So I'm not doing a lot of bending on this, but it's super stable, and I'm treating it more like a jazz guitar or an acoustic. And you can get some cool pseudo acoustic sounds too. So now I'm going to leave the lead circuit down here, and I'm going to go up here for the rhythm circuit. So everything's wide open. The tremolo on this particular guitar is really good. I think it's my best offset guitar tremolo wise. It travels really well, and everything on this is bone stock, except I did change this bridge to an American Pro, a Fender American Pro bridge, and it just drops right in. I took the old one out, and I kind of eyeballed it to where the threads were, and used a ruler and just popped it right in there, and 30 minutes later it was at the gig playing, and I haven't touched it since. It's great. So here is the rhythm circuit, and I can get some kind of fake acoustic things in with this. Convincing enough, right? Just to be cleaner and rounder, right? So these are wide open. So then you can if you're in a dirty amp, let's see, my gain on this particular model, this is a Line 6 Helix, so this has got a little bit of breakup. Kind of gnarly if you lean into it. So I can clean it up here with the volume. It's not as convincing as a cleaner electric sound as my Jazzmaster was. And I have another Jazzmaster with flats, and it sounds different on the rhythm circuit as well. So, that's a good way to justify having different guitars, especially if you're trying to convince your wife. So this one gets a little muddy when you roll it down, but you can use it for sure. I like like that sound a lot, actually. So you can have that preset kind of dark, and then a nice sound would be the neck pickup down here wide open. So you can let's see, something you'd recognize. That's a little bright when he jumps, so you just pull the tone back here and you can kind of match it up. So go back to the rhythm. This particular guitar actually does better with the tone rolled off versus the volume on the rhythm circuit. This one sounds better to me. And then you go back to your lead circuit.